Peace, peace, fam. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Monte. You know what it is. You know what I do. You know how I get down. Today we'll be dealing with some cayenne pepper. We'll break down the benefits of the cayenne pepper. I have that cayenne pepper. I also like to put my cayenne pepper in capsule form. I have capsules back here. I didn't have it out right when I started the video. That's why you don't see them, guys. But in the second half of the video, I'll show you capsules that I'm utilizing. I make the capsules myself, all right? Meaning that I order the capsules and I put the cayenne pepper into the capsules and capsulize it so that I can take it. I used to take it straight in water, which you can with a small thing of water, but it's a little too fiery for me as far as going down. It doesn't heat the body up immediately, but that taste going down can indeed heat the body up pretty quick in the throat area. But it soothes the body as it goes through, guys. So I utilize it in capsule form so I don't deal with that heat. But you can feel the heat generating in the body after about 10 to 15 minutes when you utilize the capsules, all right? Also, guys, we'll be talking about diet. So we'll be talking about those things that do work that may not be natural. We'll talk about the blood type, eating according to your blood type. Etc. These things have some validity, but again, if it's suggesting to you that meat is something that is natural to your physiology, that is not accurate, although your physiology may have been conditioned over the years, over the generations, over the centuries of your ancestors consuming that type of product. All right, so we'll break all that down. We'll break down the differences between the African ancestry, the European ancestry, the Asian ancestry, as it relates to foods that they can probably consume in their individual ancestral realm of things that will not damage them as much. It will damage the other individuals who were not born in that climate and do not have that ancestry. I did a video on this way back, but we're going to refresh this. We're going to get it in. All right, guys, we're going to go to the board in just a second. Oh, also, guys, give a shout out to my girl, Betty, Special Touch Graphics. She put me in there with that introduction. She's also building my website. And also, guys, remember, support me with my products. I got the CBD Oil, broad spectrum, 500 milligram. I have the certificate analysis. I have the hemp protein. I have chocolate, vanilla, and Blackberry Pomegranate. In the CBD oil, I have the lemon, the peppermint, and the orange. All right, guys. So hit me up. Let's go to the board and talk about this cayenne pepper. All right, fam, let's deal with the benefits of cayenne pepper. Let's get it in, get it done, and let's get to the video that we want to talk about. All right. So here we go, guys. Talking about cayenne pepper. Some of the benefits are has vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin B6, vitamin K, manganese, potassium, and riboflavin. I don't know exactly what that is. I got to look that up. I know the other ones, guys. All right. Also, it helps with the metabolism, guys. So it's going to help to make the metabolism more efficient, because what cayenne pepper does, it moves blood through the body. It may reduce hunger. It may help reduce blood pressure. It definitely helps in the digestive aid, because I utilize the cayenne pepper and I utilize it in capsule forms, guys, and I capsulize it myself when I have digestive issues along with my activated charcoal. It's a pain reliever. I've noticed that when I've had headaches and I've taken capsules of the cayenne pepper, it has helped with the headaches. Psoriasis, you'll use that in the cream fashion, guys. They call that capsaicin cream. And also what has been shown is that not only does it help with cancer, but it also helps to fight off a heart attack when it's about to happen. You have to do that in a tincture type form, meaning that it would not be in a capsule and you wouldn't likely drink it straight. And if you don't have a tincture, you can just place the cayenne pepper up under that person's tongue who may happen to be in a cardiovascular state, and it should help knock them out of there. All right, guys. So do a little bit more research on that. Make sure what it is that I'm telling you is correct. I want you to always research what it is that I'm telling you. All right, guys. Let's move on to the video, guys. I'm going to break down some things that I had questions in my comments about when dealing with the different types of diets, etc., and why they do work. But although I say they're not natural, all right? Some of them do work, all right? Let's get on over there. Peace. All right, fam, let's get right into it. We're dealing with these different types of diets. We're dealing with the different types of results that individuals see on diets. And we're dealing with ancestry, guys. We are different. We are different individually, and we are different across the races. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, we have allowed those who are sick with psychosis, who have utilized the differences in our skin color and use that as a means to afflict their diabolical and treacherous and evil ways onto an individual because of their color of their skin or the nationality or whatever it is, or their sex, whatever it is that may be. We've allowed that craziness, that neurosis, that psychosis, that psychotic individual or individual's behavior to make us want to think that we are not different. We are different. Although we are the same, we are different, guys. We have our unique difference as individuals, as gender, and as whole races of people, all right? Environmental impact on the people is real. It creates differences within the common physiology of the human being. So let's deal with some of these things. Again, a lot of individuals want to talk or have been introduced to blood type, eating according to your blood type. Now, I'm not saying that this doesn't work, because obviously it does work to a certain extent, but this is not the basis of the physiology. This is a result of the physiology being under attack and not being able to recover and do certain things that are natural to the physiology. Anything, again, you hear this over and over and over again, anything that has to be modified in order to be consumed, in order not to poison the physiology, is not natural to the physiology. Anything that you have to have tools in order to break that food down into pieces where you can be able to consume it is not natural to the physiology or this anatomy. I know individuals like to think that we evolved from some type of animal and we was running down and chasing down lions and all that. I don't buy that foolishness right there at all. Again, that is basically a Eurocentric approach to the beginning of man. Not everybody agrees with that approach for good reasons. Again, guys, now let's deal with the climate, and let's deal with the individuals that have come, or individual races that have come out of climates. When you're dealing with Africa, you're dealing with a climate, for the most part, where they say the beginning of people emerged from was a tropical type of environment. So it would be conducive to the fruits, the vegetables, those foods that come out of the earth, those foods that don't have to be modified in any way, shape, or form in order to be consumed. This is the growth of food coming out the earth on a regular basis throughout the years, because the climate doesn't change drastically to cold or super drastically all the way up through the roof as being too hot for those things to be able to grow. Now, when you're dealing with Asia and when you're dealing with Africa, Europe, you're dealing with different climates. When you're dealing with Europe, you're dealing with a time frame where there would not be fruit and fruits growing up out of the earth due to the harshness of the winter. Therefore, those individuals who migrated up into Europe and had to find a way to survive became the consumers of meat. This is what they had to do. Now, were they efficient at killing, cutting, preparing, and cooking that food hundreds hundreds, thousands of years ago? No, not at all. But they were able to do these things to a certain degree. The human physiology, the human anatomy in the way that we are right now has no chance at being a successful hunter. So this egotistical output that individuals like to put forth as if we were some great hunters before the advent of tools, it's ridiculous. It makes no sense. Makes no sense that you would have to have tools in order to kill that which you needed to survive if that food was natural to the physiology. But over the thousands of years that physiology and anatomy became accustomed to feeding off this type of food, then the system of that people became used and adapted to the consumption of that. So therefore, their ancestry, their descendants are going to be more inclined to be able to benefit from that which is not naturally natural to the human physiology. You understand what I'm saying? It's an adaptation. So those individuals can thrive on the carnivore diet where they're cooking and only eating meat. They're not going to thrive long because eventually it will come back to get them, but they will be more inclined to do better on that type of diet than, say, the descendant of African ancestry or even the descendant of Asian ancestry. All right. So we're dealing with the European when it comes down to the meat and the carnivorism. I may be pronouncing that wrong, but that's going to be something that many of those who are European ancestry will be able to benefit from that in the short term. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the Asians, usually, as you know, they're more of a grain rice type people, and they've been able to thrive off that. And before they became Americanized and started to eat and consume a lot more of the fried foods and meat, they really didn't deal with the issues of diabetes, etc., due to their large consumption of that grain. Because again, over the centuries that they had to deal with what they dealt with in their environment, their bodies became more accustomed and adapted to the consumption of that food, therefore minimizing the negative effect of that food on their physiology. Now, the African was more inclined to be able to get his fruit, get his vegetables, because his environment allowed for that to be readily available for him. Therefore, his or her body would do better on that diet, and that is the natural diet, not because they are African, because that climate allowed that type of food to come out of the earth, that food, that which is natural, that you don't have to alter in order to consume, in order for it to make you survive, guys. You don't need tools in order to get that and prepare that in order to be consumed. It makes no sense that you would have to jump through these loops in order to get the food that you need for survival, being you having to kill it with tools, you're having to cook it with tools, you need all this extra stuff in order to get it into your system. And before these things became available, how the hell did you eat? All right? How did you consume? You understand what I'm saying? Makes no sense. Again, I'm not bashing those of you who eat meat. That is something that we have been conditioned into, something that we can do. I have no issue with that. I have an issue with you trying to tell me that these things are natural to the physiology, and vice versa. Some of the things that are natural to the physiology, because we have destroyed the physiology due to all the toxicity, due to all the chemicals, due to all the other things that we've been consuming that are not really food, then some natural foods, some foods that are healthy for the physiology, because that physiology has been destroyed, will cause more damage to the physiology. I'm a living example of that. Many of those things that are natural and healthier, I can't do because my physiology just rejects certain things because of the destruction that I did to it and to the cell damage and etc. that I've put my body under over the years. So I get it. So when people say that they do thrive on, doctors may recommend them eating fish and their numbers come back well and so forth, I don't doubt that. But that still doesn't make that fish natural for your consumption. It's something else that was going on with the physiology because it had been destroyed that still allows for you to be able to consume that fish, and it actually helps out versus you consuming something that is natural in the short term. Again, repair, rebuild, and renew the physiology, renew the gut, renew the digestive tract. These things, if we do these things, then we can get back to eating that which is natural, and it's going to benefit us and not harm us, as some foods that are natural can harm a physiology that has been destroyed. All right, guys. So we'll leave it at that. Leave your comments in the bottom. Sending you peace and love. Peace.